Mr. Goodie Grammar. I cannot thank you enough for spending your Wednesday with me, where we're going to go ahead and break down the differences between the words cite, and cite. Oh, more homophones, and they all sound the same. That's all right though, because looking at tonight's schedule, we're going to get started with a basket breaker to break into the lesson. Then we're going to go ahead and sip up some radioactive waste. After that, we'll go ahead and ask for some employee assistance to practice these concepts. Then we'll go ahead and quiz our knowledge of what we learned by doing an aisle check. After that, we'll get into what you've been waiting for, the Grammar Goodie Sentence Shout Out of the Week. Did you get it? Did I get it? Stick around to the end of the episode. And then finally, we'll check out for the evening. However, I want to go ahead and get it started with a basket breaker.
Uh-oh.
For this week's basket breaker, the question is, what are some homophones that you always confuse? What are some words that sound alike, but maybe are spelled differently, and you always mix them up? Take a second, think about it, and put it into the comments section. Alrighty, what's your answer? Here's mine. Some homophones that I usually confuse are your and your. Your for possession and your for the contraction you are. They sound the same, but they have different functions. And that's exactly why we are covering these homophones tonight, cite, and cite. That way, we don't fall into this category where we're getting them confused. So, this basket breaker, it's made me thoroughly parched. So I think it's time that we drink up some radioactive waste.
3, 2, 1.
The essential question for this lesson is, what are the differences between cite, and cite? By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to answer that question. And it's interesting because many people actually struggle with the differences between cite, and cite. But today, we'll make it easy for you. And I want to go ahead and get it started by talking about the word cite. S-I-G-H-T. What is it? What does it mean? Well, cite is actually a noun or a verb. And it means the sense of vision, but it can also refer to something that you see. And it also means to see, to notice, or to observe when it's in its verb form. So that's just a quick definition of the word cite. To give better context, let's see how cite is used in an original sentence. Sentence. The doctor in the alley said that my sight had improved. Thanks, Doc in the alley. So, in this, it's referring to the noun sight, as in vision. So the doctor said that my sight, my vision, had improved. So that's using sight as a noun. Let's look and see how it's used in another example. Example, I'm hoping to cite some rare platypuses on my trip. Yeah! So as you can see, it's used as a verb here to indicate seeing something. Pretty easy, right? In fact, this is so delectably easy that it's time for you to practice said concept. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and use the word cite in an original sentence. Think you could do that? Use cite, S-I-G-H-T, in an original sentence? Ha! I know you can. and get to it. Well, grammar goodies, I know you came up with incredible sentences that you showered into the comment section. And without further ado, let's go to the second form of cite. It's cite. C-I-T-E. Cite. What does it mean? Well, cite is actually a verb, and it means to quote a passage, basically, especially as an authority for justification of an argument or statement. So it's quoting someone that usually has reputable sources behind them and their words. Usually, we're going to use cite when it comes to research papers and essays. Let's see how cite, C-I-T-E, is used in an original sentence. His paper did not cite any sources, so it lacks credibility. So his paper did not quote any passages or authors, so it lacks credibility. It lacks that trustworthiness behind it. So cite is used as a verb in this sentence. Let's see how it's used again. Since he is an expert on the matter, other scholars in the field seem to cite him a lot. As you can see, cite is used to mean, like, quote a passage from this individual. So since he's an expert on said matters, people can cite his work. They can reference it, quote it, since he is an authority on the matter. Pretty cool and easy, right? And we use this in our academic papers. And I think we should go ahead and practice it. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and use the word cite, C-I-T-E, in an original sentence. Remember, it's a verb. And get to it. Alrighty, grammar goodies, I know that you have some delicious sentences, but we need to move on to the third and final form of the word cite. It's cite. S-I-T-E. Cite. Well, cite is actually a noun. It basically means the position or location of something. An area of ground on which a town building or a monument is constructed, like a construction site. Let's see how cite is actually used in a few sentences. Example. The construction site was a jumbled mess of equipment. Whoa! As you can see, we have the adjective in front of cite to describe it. What type of location was it? Well, it's a construction location, a construction site. And it was a jumbled mess. Let's see how cite is used in another sentence. Example. The conservation site was full of fauna and animals. Ah, beautiful nature. Here, once again, you can see that we have an adjective before cite, the noun, and it's conservation. So the conservation location was full of fauna, plants, and animals. Pretty straightforward, right? It's just a noun to indicate location. So, let's go ahead and practice said word by using cite, S-I-T-E, in an original sentence. Think you could do that? Use cite in an original sentence? I know you can. And get to it! grammar goodies. I know you plucked in those sentences into the comment section. But I'm still a little confused about the differences between cite, and cite. So I think it's time that we start asking for some employee assistance.
Oh, so much grammar. My head's gonna explode. I don't know what to do. I need help. We need some employee assistance.
For this section, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and read various sentences. Each sentence will have a blank in it. It's up to you to decide which version of cite is most appropriate for that blank. So fill in the blank with the correct cite. Think you could do that? All right, let's do it. With question 1. I did not blank my sources, so I failed the class. Again, the sentence is, I did not blank my sources, so I failed the class. Are we filling this in with cite, or cite? Take a second, think about it. Alrighty, what did you get? Here's the answer. The answer is cite, C-I-T-E, cite, to quote a passage or an authority figure. I did not cite my sources, so I failed the class. Let's go ahead and move on to question 2. Question 2. I'm losing my blank, so I can barely see the sign in front of me. Are we filling in this sentence with cite, or cite? Take a second, think about it. Alright, grammar goodies, what did you get? Here's the answer. The correct answer is cite, S-I-G-H-T, the noun cite. I am losing my sight, my vision, so I can barely see the sign in front of me. Once again, you're seeing that this version of cite is used to reference vision. Let's move on to the next one. Question 3. This blank is a perfect place to build a coffee shop for cats. Meow. Perfect. Are we filling in this sentence with cite, or cite? Think about it. Alrighty, here's the answer. The correct answer is cite, S-I-T-E, cite. This site, this location, is a perfect place to build a coffee shop for cats. So, cite, S-I-T-E, is the correct answer. Let's move forward with question 4. The blank of my dog running away from me breaks my heart. Are we filling this in with cite, or cite? Take a second. Alrighty, what did you get, grammar goodies? Here's the answer. The correct answer is cite. The sight of my dog running away from me breaks my heart. Oh, that's so sad. Run, little tapioca, be free. So cite is a correct answer here. Alrighty. Think you have this down, grammar goodies? I know you do. So, I think it's time that we jump into an aisle check. Aha! For this week's aisle check, here's what you're going to do. You're going to create an original sentence that uses all three versions of cite in it. Think you could do that? Create one original sentence that uses all three versions of cite in it? I know you can. And get to it! And while you post that into the comment section, I think it's time that we start to check out for the evening. And now, it's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for the Grammar Goodie Sentence Shoutout of the Week. Yeah! The Grammar Goodie Sentence Shoutout of the Week goes to an individual or individuals that participate in the comment section on any of our social media platforms. Did you get it? Did I get it? Did my cat get it? Let's find out. May I have a drum roll, please? The Grammar Goodie Sentence Shoutout of the Week goes to Age of the Aquarius. You did it again. Another incredible sentence. The Age of Aquarius' sentence is, my snappy retort did not go over well with my mother-in-law. Yeesh. Don't want to give you life advice, but that sounds like a bad idea. Anyway, fantastic job, Age of the Aquarius. I'm sure Linda's going to be okay in the very end. And if you would like a Grammar Goodie Sentence Shoutout of the Week too, make sure to participate in the comment section on any of our videos. Speaking of videos, you can check out a whole plethora of videos on YouTube and www.mrgoodiegrammar.com. Like a word of the week every Sunday. Live sessions every Wednesday. Well, yeah, what are those called? They're called Whoa Wednesdays. Content episodes out regularly, including some shoutouts. And what do you want me to teach you? Put it into the comment section so I can create a Whoa Wednesday all about it. And don't forget any of our social media platforms like our website, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yeah! But finally, Grammar Goodies, it's time for you to fly away and be free in the cosmos because my name is Mr. Goodie Grammar. Thank you so much for dropping by General Grammar for another Whoa Wednesday. And come in anytime. I'll see ya. Whoa! Wednesday!
Whoa! What are you still doing here? Don't you know that the episode is over? What? Okay, I get it. I mean, I know you love grammar. So why don't you hit like on this video? In fact, share it and do a little comment. But mainly, subscribe. Why haven't you subscribed yet? In fact, if you don't subscribe, you could be pulled into an interdimensional vortex. So, make sure to subscribe. Remember, General Grammar is tons of fun. What are you waiting for? Whoa! Click on another video.